Maya Keller and I'm a digital artist from Mexico. On this tutorial, I will teach you how to create Christmas icons in Adobe Illustrator. So let's begin. The first thing you're going to do is create a new document. The size really doesn't matter, so just open a new one. Make sure that you remove your fill and change your stroke color to this blue color. You can see the values here. Now let's change the weight, and if you don't see this window, go to Window, Stroke, or use the shortcut Ctrl F10. Now here on the weight, change it to 10. Now I'm going to go to my rectangle and click on it. I'm going to change the width to 270 and the height to 84, and I'm going to press OK. Now I need to make sure that my stroke is aligning to the center. Just click there. Let's create another rectangle. This one is going to be 335 by 135. Let's create a new one by clicking. And this one is going to be 159 by 335 pixels. Now let's go to our selection tool, select these two shapes, click on one, you can see the outline is now thicker, and then go here on horizontal line center and then vertical line bottom. Now I'm gonna go Window, Pathfinder, and bring this Unite. And now you can see I have a single shape. Now I'm gonna go to Window, Align, and you can see this one has appeared. So I'm gonna click on both of them, click again on one to make it a key object, and let's change the vertical distribute space to 0. I'm going to move it a little bit to the center, just so that it is in place. I'm going to go with my direct selection tool and select these anchor points and round them all the way to the center. And this one, round them here. You could also input the value here on the top, so let's round it to 75 pixels. Now let's go and round all the way to the center of this rectangle to get a shape like this. Next, I'm going to go to my Ellipse Tool and let's create one by clicking and dragging, and you can input the value here on the top again to 250. Now I'm gonna move it and place it roughly there where the anchor points are touching each other, and I'm going to change the weight to 5. Now I'm gonna go to my scissors tool or press C on my keyboard and cut where this is intersecting, and then remove the rest of the shape because you don't need it, just by pressing delete. Now I'm going to go to my pen tool by pressing P and make a line here. And now that I have my first icon, I'm going to change the fill to this top part, to this light blue, and select everything. And go Object, Group. Next, I'm going to go and find my shape tools, and this time I'm going to create an ellipse. So let's make one that has a width and height of 155 pixels. Remove the fill. Now let's make another one that is 200 by 200. Next, we're going to create a triangle. So to create a triangle, go and find your tools panel, click on and hold the click to find the rest of the shape tools, and go and find the Polygon tool. Now here, if you use the up and down arrow keys, you can increase or decrease the number of size. I'm going to create one, and then here unconstrain the width and height. And let's rotate first our triangle by going to one of the corners and just rotate it to the right, just pressing Shift. And let's change our width to 33 and our height of 75 pixels. And actually this is the other way around, so I'm going to change the value 75 by 33, and using our eyedropper we can sample that same stroke so it gets applied on that rectangle. Next, I'm going to create another ellipse, and this one is going to have value of 9 by 13, and let's actually swap the stroke and the fill. These are going to be little eyes, so I'm going to create one. Then while pressing Alt and Shift, I'm going to drag to create another eye. And let's rotate this triangle and place it right here. Just there in place, and I'm gonna change the fill to that light blue color that we already selected in advance. I'm going to move my eyes a little bit to the top, and then let's create a rectangle. So just go there, and let's change the width and the height to 162 by 22. And again, let's sample the stroke. Let's create another rectangle. This one is going to be 112 by 86. I'll select both shapes, but first let's put this one on the top. Select again the bottom one to make it a key object, and let's reduce the distributed spacing to 0. Now I'm going to go to my pen tool and make a line like this here on the top. I'm going to change the width to 5. Select the hat and put it right there in place. I can select all the shapes and align them to horizontal align center. I'm going to sample so that everything has that light blue color, and bring it a little bit to the bottom. Now I'm going to select these two circles and align them. And once I have this, I'm going to go again to my scissors tool, so just press C and click where they are intersecting and delete them. Now I'm going to select everything and go Object, Group. We're going to work on our next icon. So for this one, we're going to go to our Shape Tools, and let's find the Ellipse Tool, click on that one. Let's change the width and the height to 210 by 210. So we're going to have a circle. Now let's create another ellipse, and let's constrain our proportions. So I only need to move one value to 88. Next, I'm going to create a rectangle, and I'm going to change the width and the height to 239 by 93. Now I'm going to round the edges all the way to the center and place it there on the bottom. I'm going to make sure that I sample the same fill and stroke that the boot has. I'm going to place my circles right here. And what I want to do is go to my direct selection tool, or press A on my keyboard, and then just click and drag on this anchor point all the way to the bottom where it touches the other rectangle. Let's rotate this a bit and do the same with this bottom anchor point. So now that they are intersecting, I have to make sure that they are intersecting before I go and use my pathfinder. So I'm just going to undo this, make sure that they intersect, select both shapes and go Unite. And now we have our shape. Now we can place it roughly where we wanted it. Let's go to our pen tool, click again and drag a little bit to make a curve. Click again and drag again to make a little curve. Make sure that you press the P key again so you don't join the line. Now let's go Object, Group to have our mitten there. So now we're going to work on our next icon. So first we want to create the star. So we're going to go here in our tools and find the star tool, click on that one. And let's change the radius 1 to 29 and the radius 2 to 14. And make sure that you have 5 points. Press OK and you're going to get something like this. Next, we want to create some triangles. So I'm going to go to my Polygon Tool, click and just make a triangle while pressing Shift so it's pointing to the top. And let's change the width to 179 and the height to 288. So now let's move it here. Let's go and find our rectangle, click again, and let's change the width and the height to 56 by 51. Let's select both shapes, actually 3 of them, and place them roughly where you want them. Then select everything, click again on the triangle and horizontal align center. Click on these 2 shapes, go to align and remove the distributed spacing to 0. So now that we have that, I can sample that outline that my mitten has. And let's move it a little bit there. Let's go and find our ellipse tool. So just click on your ellipse and let's make one that is 19 by 19. Now let's sample that little line on the mitten with our eyedropper. And let's pressing Shift and sample it, so I only sample the color and not the overall appearance. And then while I press Alt and Shift, I can click and drag to create 4 copies and place them throughout the tree. I'm going to go to my pen tool or press P on my keyboard and then click and drag a little bit to create something like this. Remove the fill because I don't need it. And let's keep doing this again and again. Click and drag a little bit. So right there you have your Christmas tree, a little bit roughly. Let's sample again by pressing Shift. So we only sample the color. And now what I want to do is that the caps, I don't want them to be that pointy. So I want to apply this to all my icons. I want to select everything and then go around my corners. So now I'm just going to press Ctrl G to group that. Let's go there. Make sure that we're aligning to selection, and vertical and horizontal distribute your icons. Now let's rotate this boot a little bit. Just like that. Let's repeat again the same process to align our objects horizontally and vertically. Now that I have them the way I want them, I can select everything, go Object, Group, make sure that I'm aligning to my artboard, and then go horizontal and vertical align center. And with this, you have created your own set of Christmas icons. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.